Your life's not like anyone else's, and chances are you found yourself on adventures you never planned to take. It's all part of this crazy journey we call life. Learning how to embrace the unexpected while working to live your best life is not easy, but you've come to the right place. Because in my world, if it's highly unlikely, it's practically guaranteed to happen. I'm Lavina Perry, and this is the Highly Unlikely Podcast.
Welcome to the Highly Unlikely Podcast. Do you dream of owning your own business, but you just aren't sure if you have what it takes? Well, today I'm going to break it down for you and help you figure out which of the necessary skills you already have and which skills you need to work on developing to make your entrepreneurial dreams a reality. Starting your own business is really easy. It's literally just a process of 10 steps to get your own business up and running. And if you Google the Small Business Administration, they have it all broken down step by step, and they will talk you through things like doing market research to familiarize yourself with your target market. And then they go through things like writing your business plan, funding your business, picking your business location, choosing a business structure, and even choosing your business name. They talk you through registering your business and getting your federal and state tax IDs. But what they don't mention is what skills you need to have to successfully run that business once you have it all set up. So today I'm going to dig in to what you really need to know to start your own business and to be successful at running that business. So the first thing, and they believe this is just fundamental, if you want to have your own business, you must be proactive. Starting and running your own business requires you to be proactive. You have to be willing to go out and get what you want, because nobody is ever going to hand you the success that you're looking for. So if you want to be successful in business, you have to be willing to work for it. And this seems like a no-brainer, but you will be shocked how many people have a business idea that would be a really great and profitable business, but they literally do nothing with it. And sometimes that's because they don't know what to do after coming up with the idea, or they have a lack of understanding or a lack of education that can feel really paralyzing. So being willing to go out and read books or watch YouTube videos or take a digital course and learning some ways that you can work on being proactive, and certainly giving yourself opportunities where you can practice being proactive, are really beneficial in developing this skill so that you can take that idea to the next level. The next thing is delegation. Many first-time business owners experience a high level of anxiety when it comes to giving up any sort of control over their business. But as your business grows, eventually you're just not going to be able to do it all. So if you're one of those people that really struggles with the need to control every aspect of your life and by extension, your business, this can create a real obstacle in your ability to grow your business. So a lot of people see their business as their baby, right? So when you create a business forms its own entity, which an entity is basically a being separate from you. So just like a baby, you have this entity, and you have to nurture it, and you have to grow it, and you have to feed it, and you have to do all of these things to help the baby grow. But what any mother can tell you is what happens to every single baby. The baby grows up, and the baby moves out on its own, and the baby has its own life, right? The same thing is true with your business. So as your business grows, you have to give up that control and allow that business to grow and go out on its own and be profitable. And that requires you to give up control. And we do that by delegating different services. So you might hire an accountant, you might hire someone to handle the financial part of the business where they're doing the forecasting and setting the projections. You might hire someone to do the marketing and handle your social media for you. If you have a business that is like doing a YouTube channel, you might hire an editor to do all of the editing for you. Whatever it is, whatever tasks you have that need to be done to run that business, you are going to need to hire people, whether it be hiring freelancers or hiring part-time workers or hiring full-time workers. You're going to need to have people in your business, which is going to require you to be able to give up some of that control. So, delegating the right things is also important. So when you're thinking about what am I going to delegate, you're not going to give up the thing that you're the best at, right? So if I'm really, really good at doing social media marketing, but I'm really bad at the accounting and finance part of my business, I'm not going to hang on to the accounting and finance and do all of that myself and hire someone to do all of the social media marketing for me. I'm going to take the things that I struggle with, and I'm going to contract with someone to take care of those things for me so that I can use my strengths to focus on the things that I'm really good at. And that will give me more time and energy to put into the things that I'm already really strong at doing. So you have to find the right team of people that fill in the spots where you're weak so that you have more time and energy to do the things where you're really strong at, to maximize the benefit to your business. And this can be really life-changing and allow you to grow a really thriving enterprise. The next thing is thought leadership. So being a thought leader means that you're setting a new standard and stepping outside of the mainstream box of thought. You're offering a new perspective or redefining the standards for your niche. It's not about following traditional thoughts and practices. It's about leading the crowd with your thoughts and practices. This doesn't mean that you need to reinvent the wheel. Standard practices make sense for things like accounting or certain marketing methods that have been successful, or steps that you can use to grow your business. Being a thought leader simply means that you are going to stand out from the competition and embrace your uniqueness. So being a thought leader allows you to be unique within your niche. It makes you different. That's what's good. That's what's going to draw people into you. Rather than choosing your competitor, being unique allows you to draw those people away from your competitor and over to you. So be authentic, be yourself, share what it is that makes you unique from all of the others. Next is basic communication skills. And what this really boils down to is follow up, follow up, follow up. So whether it's responding to comments on social media or replying to messages and answering questions or checking in with clients from the past or the present or potential clients, to be successful, you need to be a good communicator. Recently, I just signed up for a mailing list for someone who works in, I don't know if she would call it personal finance. I call it personal finance because she talks about overcoming your money blocks and focusing on having a life of abundance. Her name is Denise Duffield Thomas. She has like a money boot camp that she runs. So I signed up for her email list. I really like her book. She's actually written a few books, but the book that I read first of hers was called Chillpreneur. And it's about being like a laid back, low stress entrepreneur, which I really identify with that. So after reading her book, I went and I looked her up and I was like, oh man, she's got like all of this stuff available, and she's got a great website, and she's got a podcast, and she's got a newsletter that she sends out. So sign me up for all of that because I really like what she has to say and the perspective that she's coming from. And that next day, I got an email from her, and it wasn't like a standard, hey, thanks for signing up for this newsletter, and now you're going to receive all of our updates. She asked me really specific questions, and it was a very personal email. And I was like, wow, that's the first time ever that I've signed up for a newsletter and gotten a really personal email from the owner of the website. So I emailed her back, and she emailed me back again, and we continued the conversation. And yes, she wants me to sign up for her money boot camp, which is not in my budget right now. So that's something that's coming down the road, because I would really like to hear what she has to say and how she works through all of that. But the fact that I was upfront with her from the beginning, telling her, hey, this isn't in my plan for the next year or so, and she still wanted to email me and have that conversation with me, that is why I know that a year from now, I will be doing the money boot camp, because she was a communicator and she reached out to me and she wanted to have that conversation with me. So if you want to be successful and you want to have people fall in love with your business, which is falling in love with you, falling in love with your brand, being a good communicator is a really great way to open the door for that and start that relationship and build loyal, long-term clientele. The next thing is financial literacy. A basic understanding of finance is absolutely essential for your life, but it's even more true in business. So you don't need to have a degree in accounting and finance, but you do need to understand the basic concepts of assets, liabilities, expenses, income / cash flow, right? Financial reports are the staple of business ownership. Owning a business, however great that may feel, it comes down to numbers. And those numbers are how your business is measured. This will affect your ability to grow and expand, and it affects your ability to even to get a bank to loan you money. Because if you don't have strong financial reports, you're not going to be able to attract investors that will give you the capital that you need to make your business grow. And all of this is really great, but understanding whether or not your business is profitable and what changes you need to make it profitable, that is the brass tacks of business. You have to understand at least well enough to have an intelligent conversation and be able to speak to your accountant or your financial advisor about it. The next thing is leadership. So for most people, starting a business just involves one person, and that is you. So as you grow your business, you're going to need to hire people, maybe not full time, but you definitely are going to be contracting with people for services or hiring freelancers to do work for you. And no matter whether you are a business of one or a business of 100, you are going to be at the helm of that business. It's going to be your vision and your dream, and ultimately your responsibility for the success or the failure of that business. And that requires you to be the leader, which requires a certain skill set. If you are not comfortable at the helm, giving directions, creating the vision, sharing that vision with other people, this can be an obstacle to the growth and the profitability and the success of your business. So working to develop the necessary leadership skills to run a business is essential to the long-term viability of any business venture that you are involved in. The next thing is emotional intelligence. This is the ability to perceive, manage, and regulate emotion. This is often overlooked completely as an essential skill, but if you want to develop those loyal, long-term customers, you need to have emotional intelligence. If you want to have loyal business partners and long-term employees that will stick with you for the long haul, you need to have emotional intelligence. This is how you develop strong and lasting relationships with the people inside and surrounding your business. You don't have to be like a Jedi, right? But you definitely need to have a working understanding with this skill and make efforts to continually improve. That's how your business will grow. So whether you provide a product or you do coaching or you do business to business or you do event planning or a million other industries, you need to have relationships with everyone that is involved with your business, from your accountant to the vendors you use to your employees to your customers. It is all about relationships. So emotional intelligence, I would say, is not the easiest thing to develop if it's not something that you naturally have. It is something that you can grow into. Sometimes people just need to have an awareness of emotional intelligence and what it means to start developing that skill. For other people, it's really, really a struggle and something that they constantly have to work towards, kind of like me trying to understand the technology that is required to have a working website. But there's nothing in this world that you can't do if you set your mind to it. There's nothing that you can't learn if you're willing to put in the time and the energy to learn it. Emotional intelligence is one of those things that in 2021, emotional intelligence is an essential skill to have a successful business. 50, 60 years ago, I think there was a lot of people who started and ran businesses that had terrible people skills and couldn't tell you the first name of their secretary that worked for them for 20 years and they were highly successful. That is no longer true. In this day and age, in the world that we live in, you need to be able to connect with all of the people inside and outside of your business that make your business successful, including your customers. So this is one of those skills I would say start to work on now. You don't need to be a master at it today, but it is something that you need to continually be working on and trying to improve in. The last one I want to go over is sales. It does not matter how good a product or service you have to offer or how talented you are if you can't sell it. So getting in front of the right audience is essential in every industry, in every niche, no matter what. And this is where a lot of really great businesses go to die, is their inability to get what they have to sell in front of the right people who will buy it. So learning some basic marketing skills can go a long way. And we live in a world where there is social media marketing. This is the cheapest advertising and the cheapest marketing method that has ever been available in the history of capitalism, I'm pretty sure. Where else can you buy an ad for $15 and have it run for 10 days and get in front of 1,000 people that are in your target market? Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, they have algorithms that set all of that up for you to make sure that you're getting in front of the audience that you want to be in front of for very little money, which is incredible. It's not just about the ads and getting in front of the audience, but being able to create a product that is visually appealing, that uses language that will attract people, that is unique and different enough from the competition that people will buy from you over someone else. These types of things are really, really important if you are trying to grow your business. So putting in some time and some effort into learning how to market to your target audience is a really good idea. And if it's something that you struggle with, like I struggle with, then it is worth putting some investment into taking a course or taking a college class or watching YouTube videos or listening to 5,000 different people talk about what they do. Just start somewhere, put in the work, put in the time, and learn how to market what it is that you have to sell to the audience that is going to buy it. Now, if you are listening to this list and thinking to yourself that you struggle with all of these things and you have no idea where to start, I have great news for you. You do not have to be a master of all of these skills all at once. Just pick one. Maybe you will pick one that you already have some basic skills with, or one that you are really interested in. And then you go out and you look for resources to learn more about it. These can be books. These can be digital courses. This can be a college class. This can be meeting with your friend who's really good at this skill you want to develop and asking some questions and picking their brain for advice and resources where you can go to learn more. This can be joining an online community or a group that meets in your community in person. It's all about mindset. People often want to do something and they think, well, I have no idea how to do that. The problem is that a lot of people stop right there. But a person with an entrepreneurial mindset will think, I have no idea how to do that. And then they will go and they will figure out how to do it. They will learn all about it and they will practice it over and over until they have mastered it. So if there's something that you need to learn or a skill that you need to develop or figure out, you can figure out anything and everything that you need to if you are willing to put in the time and do the work to learn it. Your mindset above everything else is the key to your success in business. So get yourself a growth mindset. Remove the blocks that are standing in your way and creating an obstacle to the success that you want. And then once you have a growth mindset, pick one skill from this list that you need to develop or one thing that you need to learn and get to work. If owning a business is your dream, you absolutely have the ability to learn every single thing that you need to learn to be successful and to make that dream a reality. If you are willing to do the work and put in the time that is necessary to be successful. And that's all I have for you today. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind, and live your best life.
If you enjoyed today's episode of the Highly Unlikely Podcast, you can find more by following me on Facebook at A Highly Unlikely Life or find me on the web at ahighlyunlikelylife.com. And don't forget to subscribe.